Alright folks, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Good to see you, as always. Going to be going through the rest of round 3 over in Miami very shortly. Before we do, like the video for me if you would. Get yourself subscribed if you're not. I'd appreciate it if you did. I think we're one away from 7:30. See what you can do. Who's it going to be? Do yourself the favour. Do me the favour. Be great to get you involved. If you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description and the pinned comment, along with the pics and the timestamps. First things first, I had Grigor Dimitrov for a set today. He ended up getting that done against Karen Khachanov anyway. I'm waiting for Casper Ruud to play Tabilo. That's yet to start. We're still we're in the second set of Jaume Minaur and Gael Monfils, so fingers crossed. Best of luck to you if you took that double. Even if you didn't, let me know. Did you get any winners? Did you come close? Share with the group. And now that's out the way, I think we can talk about these ones, can't we? What have we got? First off, is it that one or is it this? I think it's this. It doesn't matter on the same time anyway. So first off is Pelka and Thomas Mahhatch. Well. Head to head is 1-0 to Thomas Mahhatch. We should remember this one. We've seen this over in the Australian Open, start of the year. Very close game. Took 3 tiebreakers and it took all 5 sets. Thomas Mahhatch just about got that one done. Now, talking in hindsight, if that match was a best of 3 rather than a best of 5, then Pelka very may well just have won that game. He played really good against Holger Rune. You've got to give him that. Now, I said Thomas Mahhatch should beat Matteo Arnaldi. I had a feeling he would, but it was anything but convincing. And I'll be honest with you, especially at the end of that second set, I was very concerned. I weren't so sure that he was going to end up winning that match until the very moment that he did. Look, it was a really close one last time, wasn't it? A close one in the best of 5. Look, this first set's crucial, innit? Pelka, I feel like if anything, will probably get the best version of Pelka in this first set. It tends to be the case more often than not. Holger Rune, fatigue after the Indian Wells, perhaps. Jack Draper, fatigue after the Indian Wells, perhaps. Alcaraz, perhaps. I don't know, maybe not. Nonetheless, we can't take anything away from Pelka. He played really good. We are in the States. It does tend to elevate them just a little bit, if anything, over here. And look, given the conditions as well, courts are a little bit faster as well. You can't help but agree that definitely does suit the game of Pelka. If he plays the way he played against Holger Rune, and if he can get behind his serve, I fear there may not be a lot that many can do against Pelka on the day, let alone Thomas Mahhatch. But you know me, I think Thomas Mahhatch is a lot better than most. And if anyone's going to take on a Pelka over here in Miami, it most definitely be someone of the calibre of that. So I'm probably going to stay away from that. I would expect Thomas Mahhatch has got more than enough to see this one through, but he came out blazing against Arnaldi and then just went well off the boil in that second set. I could be wrong, but I've got a feeling that if you're going to suffer a bit of a dip in concentration like that against Pelka, if it's the version of Pelka that I have a feeling might turn up, I think it may be very difficult to come back from that. If you give him a break, you may not be able to get it back. So, I don't know. Thomas Mahhatch takes that first set. As always, it'll be a very long way back for the Pelka in that one. So, I don't know. Either one of them for a set. A Pelka for the first set, if you want to be brave. I'm not too sure. Let me know. I'd probably lean with Thomas Mahhatch in that one. He is the better player after all. We'll move on to Adam Walton and Wong. This is probably the one that's probably getting spoke about the least out of the lot. Getting Adam Walton around 1.5 on the decimal here. Now, Wong did beat him towards the end of last season in straight sets as well. Adam Walton didn't even break serve in that game. I haven't watched either one of these that much this tournament, I'll be honest with you folks. I had a feeling Adam Walton would beat Darderi. I mean, Darderi doesn't really offer that much on the hard court. Now, I'm quite surprised Wong pulled off the upset against Shelton. Now, I didn't see the game. Shelton did take a set. I don't know, was it just Ben Shelton doing what he always does? Fucking Ben can't get a break. I don't know. Or was it just really good stuff from Wong? Either way, you can't take anything away from it. Very, very good. I doubt many people saw that one coming. If you're going to beat Ben Shelton in Miami, I imagine you've got more than enough to beat someone like Adam Walton. I'm just saying. And look, he's literally just beat him not that long ago. I don't know. 2.7. It's not that much of an... I don't know, why is he that big of an underdog? If he beat him so convincingly last time and he's just... I don't know. I think I'm wasting too much time on it. I'd probably just go with Wong. I think Wong beats him. I do. Why not? Why the hell not? But we'll move on anyway. To Zverev and Jordan Thompson. Is that? It is. That's right. Getting Zverev as a massive, massive favourite in this one. I expect nothing less. Doesn't necessarily mean I agree with it, but what are you going to do? 1.17 is what it's currently at. What was Zverev's? What was he seeded in this? Is he the number one seed coming into Miami? Doesn't feel like it, does he? Doesn't necessarily have the vibe. I'm not getting number one seed vibes from Zverev, especially since the Australian Open. We've spoke about that a couple of times over the past few weeks. Look, am I going to say the same as what I've been saying the past couple of months? Is this where Zverev starts to pick it up a little bit? Now would most definitely be the time to, now's better than never. He's been very, very below par, not what I expected at all from Zverev. I'd say since the Australian Open, just on the season as a whole, really. I mean, 13-5, still a lot better than most. Let's be real. Jordan Thompson 5-3. He did skip the majority of last month, as we mentioned. Looked fairly decent against Mahhatch. Got that one done in 3 sets, and then ended up getting past Gio. Straight sets, 2 tiebreakers. Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, it's one thing beating Gio, holding the nerve against Gio. He can barely break serve either. I mean, Zverev is not going to serve to you as hard or as fast as Mpechi Pericard. That is a fact. But he will be 10 times more of a threat on the return. That is also a fact. I think he looked fairly decent against Jacob Fernley, but it was sort of more or less what I expected. 6-2, 6-4. It's the level, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, that's such a steep price. You're not going to go anywhere near that. That spread's 3.5, and it's still only 1.6. I'd probably say that'd be the way to go, but I'm not picking it with much conviction whatsoever. Jordan Thompson has proven to be more than a tough test for Zverev in the past. Zverev absolutely fucked him up last time out in the Masters over in Canada last year, 6-1, 6-1. So maybe it'll be more of the same. Maybe not. I don't know. If you think Jordan Thompson can keep that close, just buy a point. Fuck it, buy 2 points. You'll still get a better price than what you will on Zverev on the money line. It's entirely up to you. Head to head is 3-2. Like I said, it's not exactly a given. Especially at that price, I'd be staying well away from that. But I do think Zverev beats him. He's just, he's a better player. You don't need me to tell you that. But we'll crack on. We're making good time on these, yeah. We'll crack on with Roman Safilin. Jakob Mensuk, is that? Yeah. Of course it is. Now, I imagine a lot of people will be on Jakob Mensuk after he got past Jack Draper in the fashion that he did. He looked really good too. Now, I don't know whether Draper made him look good or Mensuk just played a lot better than what I thought he would. Either way, great stuff from the youngster there. Oh, Roman to fuel him, man. I mean, I thought he was done against Jensen Brooksby, but he weren't. And I thought he was done against Alexei Popperum, and he weren't. I just can't go anywhere near this, I can't. Even though Mensuk, on paper, the Draper result looks really, really good. How much of that can be chalked up to fatigue after the Indian Wells? I know a couple of people said it anyway, but I didn't want to believe it. Mensuk did look good too as well. It's when he's serving like that. You're gonna win enough 3 points off that serve. You stand a good chance against pretty much anyone, especially someone like Roman Safulin. But he can be tricky, man. He can be a very, very tricky customer. It seems like he's just been scraping by his matches, but he's been putting in some decent performances as well, putting some really good sets. I don't know, man. I'd probably, I'd say I'd probably trust, and that's probably the wrong word to use. You're rolling the dice on this one, you really are. You kind of know what you're going to get from Roman Safulin in regards of inconsistency. The level can be really high or it can be really shit. You're more of gambling on the unknown ceiling with Jakub Mensuk. We know how good he can be. He's beaten well better players than Roman Safulin before. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get it done in this one, but I am not too sure. Who's next? We've only got a couple more, haven't we? 4 more. Right then. Very well. Taylor Fritz. Taylor Fritz and El Chapo once again. And the head saying 7-4 to El Chapo here, but one of them may have been like an exhibition or something, so let's call it 6-4 to El Chapo. He beat him last time out over in Dallas not that long ago. We all remember that. El Chapo was just unplayable over in Dallas. He ended up taking that title. Taylor Fritz is another one, man. I mean, doesn't seem to be playing. His performances aren't very reflective of his ranking, are they? Put in a solid game against Sonego. I'll give him that. Probably as solid as you're gonna get against Sonego on the day. He's got a very good serve, and when he's playing well behind it, he doesn't really offer up much to play with. So straight sets, happy with that. Very happy with that. Now El Chapo, that was very, very dicey against Tirante. Now Tirante was very lively, I'll give him that. He played a lot better than what I thought he would. 2 tiebreakers to decide it. El Chapo took that first set, I thought it was done. No. Dropped the second set and then needed a tiebreaker in the third to pull it back. Great stuff, nonetheless, but some might say you may need a little bit more than that to take on Taylor Fritz over in Miami. As far as this season goes, I'd say I've been a lot more impressed with El Chapo. There's no secret behind that. Although, if you're looking at not the head-to-heads, the overalls, 11-5 for Taylor Fritz so far on the year, and then 12-5 for Denis Shapovalov. Not much to split the two. I think it's only a matter of time before El Chapo's back in the top 20 as well. A lot of us didn't think he was going to beat Taylor Fritz in Dallas, and he did. Took a tiebreaker in the third, but he managed to get that done in the States as well. We fast forward a month, and we're back in the States, and he's faced with Taylor Fritz, and Taylor Fritz is 1.4 as a favourite. What was he in the last game? Are we able to find that out? Oh, can't be bothered, it's irrelevant. I imagine it's roughly the same. I don't think I'm ready to trust Taylor Fritz yet, especially at that price. I'm really not. Although, if we're just going off the last game and the last game only, I probably would side with Taylor Fritz, only just. I've always got a couple of concerns around how El Chapo is going to deal with the adversity. This is the type of crowd, if El Chapo gets in his own head, especially against Taylor Fritz over in Miami, I fear the crowd may or may not let him escape out of it. So although it's killing me to do it, and although it hurts me to say so, I probably would lean with Taylor Fritz getting a little bit of revenge in this one. Although I don't really want him to. I'd love El Chapo to get this one done, but we'll move on to Artifice and Big Foe. Never played each other before. Once again, it stands for pretty much all these Americans, even though some of them may or may not have been playing the best tennis leading into the tournament. With it being in the States, it does tend to elevate the game more often than not, especially with someone like Francis Tiafoe. Hasn't been that good. We said it last time and we'll say it again. Has not been that good. Did manage to get past the Davidovich-Fokina. Looked fairly decent doing so. I mean, nothing to write home about. Artifice, he got it done against Diallo. That he ended up retiring in that one. Seen a little bit more from Artifice this season. You know, not a lot more. 9-5 on the season, and then 6-5 from Big Foe. I think what I've seen from Artifice has been a little bit more promising. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I already mentioned, since, you know, we're going back to the Australian Open here. Start of January, Artur Rinderknech, Taro Daniel, Alexander Muller, Demir Dzuma, and then obviously Davidovich-Fokina in Miami. But you expect more from Francis Tiafoe? I mean, do we not? I do, just a little bit. I don't know. Artifice, he's a slight favourite in this one, and I do mean the slightest of favourites. It's more of a 50-50 split down the middle. Artifice for a set seems like a decent little parlay piece, but I wouldn't be picking that with much conviction. He looked decent enough against Diallo. He really did. You could say he's slightly a little bit more rested. I mean, it's only like half a set, so it doesn't really mean much, does it, at this level? I don't know, there's something in the back of my mind just telling me to just go with Artifice on this one. I don't know why. I don't know. I feel like I've been in this situation before, a couple of times before, where I begin to trust in the abilities of Artifice, and then he pretty much shows me why I shouldn't. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I feel like Artifice can get it done. I do. Don't want to ramble on and say the same thing about, he starts looking for winners and he starts getting a bit wild, spraying forehands here and there. It can happen to any of them. I feel like on the day you're going to get a little bit more versatility out of Artifice than Francis Tiafoe, but I don't know. We shall see. Who have we got next? My eyes are going blurry here. Is that? Right, okay, we've got two more. I was getting mixed up, pardon me. Two more, and then I will let you get back to whatever it is you're doing. So we've got Matteo Berrettini, Zizou Bergs. Berrettini coming into this one as a rather decent favourite, 1.4 to be exact, call it 1.4. Decent enough first time out against Hugo Gaston, but he did drop a set to him, and I don't really know how I feel about that. If you can drop one to Hugo Gaston, you can definitely drop one to Zizou Bergs. Zizou Bergs is quite a heavy underdog in this. Around 3.2 is that? I don't know. I think Zizou Bergs can struggle a bit more than that. I think he's a little bit better than that, but I don't know. No doubt who's been more impressive this season. We've seen a lot more of Zizou Bergs. Very, very fit, very active. 17-7 on the year. 7-6 from Matteo Berrettini. Now I feel like if Berrettini brings his best, he will definitely give trouble to Zizou Bergs. You know he will. Although we haven't seen him as much, we know what we're going to get from Berrettini on the day. We've seen him put in some solid performances already the past month or two. Now Zizou Bergs, he was a decent underdog against Rublev and he got that done in straight sets, but what does that even mean? What does that even mean anymore? I don't know. He looked really good against Nuno Bosch. That was straight sets as well. Straight sets against Rublev. I don't know. So far in Miami, Zizou Bergs has given me no reason to go against them. Like I said, a close game with Hugo Gaston. I'm going to have to see more than that to be fully certain that Berrettini gets this one done. probably stronger, more consistent. I don't know. I don't know what word to use. He's definitely one of them. Trustworthy. I probably wouldn't say that. I don't know. I think ability, not ability, agility wise, it's definitely going to be with Zizou Bergs. Matteo Berrettini can look a bit like a statue every now and then, but I don't know, providing he's fit, providing he's good to go, I don't see why he wouldn't beat Zizou Bergs. He's beaten better players than Zizou Bergs already this season, but that doesn't really mean much. Bergs for a set. Anyone? Oh, low battery. Sorry. Bergs for a set. I don't know. Let me know what you think on that one. I have no idea what's going to happen in that. And then we will go on this one, and then we'll wrap this shit up, folks. So we've got Demon. We've got the Demon and Joao Fonseca split right down the middle. Obviously, these have not played each other before. Who is going to win this one? Who's it going to be? There can only be one. Now, first things first, straight off the bat, I feel like you don't need me to tell you that maybe not the wise choice, but the safe choice would probably to just go with Minaur in this one. That doesn't mean I'm going to, or I think that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying it's probably easy to look at this one and go, you know what? Alex de Minaur realistically should be getting this one done. But realistically, I thought Hugo Humbert should have come close to at least winning one set off Joao Fonseca. I mean, he's on what now? Is that a 7-game win streak? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-game winning streak, riding off that title win back in Phoenix on the Challenger. Although it was anything but a Challenger tournament, the calibre of opponents he took out there are definitely tour worthy. Fairly decent enough against Le Nathan, although he weren't feeling too great on that one, and then he come back and absolutely annihilated Hugo Humbert. I was very, very impressed. Surprised it went the way it did. Am I shocked? No. I know how good Joao Fonseca is. We all do. de Minaur looked okay against Boo. 6-4, 6-4. Nothing to write home about. He was fucking crap against Cerundolo over at the Indian Wells. I say the same thing about the Demon every time, don't I? Every time. I can't help but feel like he struggles with not with the pace. He's very good at redirecting the pace, but quite frankly, he just struggles with the power and the strength every now and then. He's very prone to just getting bullied around the court. He got smacked around the court by Cerundolo. Joao Fonseca possesses raw firepower. You know that. This is very, very close, and I think it's very close for a reason. I'm not so certain Alex de Minaur gets this one done. I don't. I think it's too easy to look at this and go, yeah, Demon, much more experienced, a lot more seasoned, better player, all this, all that. Because we still deal with the unknown in Joao Fonseca. We know how good he can be. But he can still be better, can't he? There's still... The ceiling's unknown. Sky's the limit with this kid, it really is. I think it'd be a big ask, as it would be for anyone, to get past the Demon when he's playing his best type of tennis on the day. One, is the Demon going to bring it like that? Number two, what is Joao Fonseca's best tennis? Have we already seen it? I don't know. Have we just seen glimpses of it? We've seen him absolutely fuck people up already. And I mean fuck people up, some really, really solid opponents. Alex de Minaur is prone to shit in the bed sometimes. He really is. That Brazilian crowd that follows Fonseca as well is like a Brazilian fucking circus as well. It can be a rather difficult task to perform when that's going against you too. So I probably wouldn't mind taking Joao Fonseca on this one, folks. I really wouldn't. Very, very impressed with what I've seen against Hugo Humbert. I think he can definitely trouble the Demon. He should be good for a set, if anything. It's a weird one, because even if he gets drilled in straight sets, we can all sit here and go, he's young. He's young. It's the Demon, this and that, but he should definitely be pushing for these type of wins. Why wouldn't you? He's definitely good enough. Definitely good enough to get a win against Alex de Minaur. You'd fancy him against Cerundolo, would you not? And Cerundolo absolutely pasted the Demon, so it shall remain to be seen. But with that being said, folks, I'll be saying good night to you. Back on work tomorrow. Fucking devastated, absolutely devastated. But it's got to be done, has it not? Shout out to the full-time squad. And yeah, take it easy, innit? Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. I appreciate you stopping by, taking the time to watch. As always, folks. See you in a bit, yeah. Fingers crossed for Casper Ruud. Hopefully, by the time this comes out, or by the time we speak to each other tomorrow, we got ourselves a nice little winner. I don't know what I'm going for on this one, but I imagine it will be pinned, as it always is. Sound, folks. See you later, yeah. Take it easy then. Let's go get that cash today. Enjoy the tennis. See you tomorrow.